Thank you and welcome to the meeting on the 18th of November. I'll just work my way through. Just opening acknowledgement of country. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and pay respect to their elders and the elders from other communities who may be here today. We also acknowledge all other people who have contributed to the rich diversity of this country. All meetings will be recorded and we are actually live streaming tonight. We have several microphones around the room, so when you are speaking, they will pick up pretty much wherever you are speaking at the table. Behaviour at meetings, hopefully exemplary, and we're setting the tone for the next 4 years, so good luck, councillors. The first item of business is item number 2. Well, we don't have apologies on that. We shouldn't either. Maybe I'll call for any apologies. Noting there are no apologies, I wouldn't think there would be at the first meeting, but anyway. Item number 2, general election results. This is printed for your information, and I will take that as read. Obviously, 7 elected councillors are all in attendance this evening. So could I have a mover and seconder for the recommendation on page 6, please? Councillor Claridge and Councillor Hearn. Thank you. Anybody like to speak to that? If not, all those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. Rob, you doing the minutes,
Yeah, Tracy's got the microphone.
Item number 3, swearing in of councillors. This is where we actually take the oath of office or the affirmation of office. Under the regulations, it actually sets out what the councillors must do. If a councillor doesn't take an oath or affirmation, then you effectively don't hold office. But we do have confirmation that all councillors will be taking either the oath or affirmation this evening. So we'll do that up in front of the camera. We've run through the procedure, so I'll jump up there and call each of the councillors up in turn. When you are taking the oath or the affirmation, please remove your mask. That is permitted under the regulations. I'll get you to sign the oath or affirmation, then I'll witness it. Sit down after that, then I'll call the next councillor up. Now you got to take some photos.
Yeah, so I'll just basis it.
Now Mr. Barber's actually going to take some photos as well. Could I have Councillor Bernie Hearn, who's actually taking the oath of office?
I, Bernie Hearn, swear by Almighty God that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the municipal community, and I will abide by the councillor's code of conduct and uphold the standards of conduct set out in the councillor's code of conduct. I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretion vested in me under the Local Government Act 2020 or any other act to the best of my skill and intention.
Could I call Councillor Don Third, who will be taking the oath of office as well?
I, Don Third, swear by Almighty God that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the municipal community. I will abide by the councillor code of conduct and uphold the standards of conduct set out in the councillor code of conduct. I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretion vested in me under the Local Government Act 2020 or any other act to the best of my skill and judgment.
Councillor Dale O'Brien will be taking the oath of office.
I, Gail O'Brien, swear by Almighty God that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the municipal community. I will abide by the council code of conduct and uphold the standards of conduct set out in the council code of conduct. I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 2020 or any other act to the best of my skill and judgment.
I call Justin King will be taking the oath of office.
I, Justin King, swear by Almighty God that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the municipal community. I will abide by the council's code of conduct and uphold the standards of the conduct set out in the council code of conduct. I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 2020 or any other act to the best of my skills and judgment.
I call Peter Davis will be taking the oath of office.
I, Peter Davis, swear by Almighty God that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the community. I will abide by the council code of conduct and uphold the standards of conduct set out in the council code of conduct. Will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 2020 or any other act to the best of my skill and judgment.
Do I call Renaju Hiwa Gunarat will be taking the affirmation of office.
I, Raji Deva Gunaratne, solemnly and sincerely affirm that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the community. I will abide by the council code of conduct and uphold the standards of conduct set out in the council code of conduct. I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities, and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 2020 or any other act to the best of my skill and judgment.
Do I call Councillor Daniel Perry who will be taking the affirmation of office.
I, Danny Claridge, solemnly and sincerely affirm that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the municipal community. I will abide by the council code of conduct and uphold the standards of conduct set out in the council code of conduct. I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 2020 or any other act to the best of my skill and judgment.
Welcome to the council, councillors. Now it's official, you've been sworn in, so With that, we'll jump on to item number 4, which is the election of Mayor and Deputy Mayor. I'll take the report as printed, and there is a recommendation on page 10 that the term of appointment of the Mayor be for either 1 or 2 years. So can I have the mover for the recommendation?
I nominate.
Oh, no. First order of business is to appoint the term, which is either 1 or 2 years. Yes, Councillor O'Brien.
I'd like to nominate that the appointment term for the new mayor is for 1 year.
Thank you, Councillor. Do I have a seconder for the motion? Councillor Hearn. Any discussion on the matter? If not, all those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. Next order of business is actually the election of the Mayor. There is a process that we will go through at the top of page 11. Could I call for nominations for the position of the Mayor of the Benalla Rural City Council for a 1-year term, please? Councillor Davis.
Yes, Mr. Sarah, I have the pleasure in nominating Councillor Danny Claridge.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for the motion, please? Thank you, Councillor Hearn. Councillor Claridge, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Any further nominations for the position of Mayor? If not, I'll declare the position of Mayor of the Benalla Rural City Council, that the councillor, Danny Claridge, be elected as the Mayor of the Benalla Rural City Council for the 2021 council year. And the next order of business, it is the council may resolve to appoint a deputy mayor and the procedure for the election of the mayor, etc. Prior to taking nominations for the position of deputy mayor, could I first establish that the council is happy to establish the position of deputy mayor in line with the Local Government Act? So can I have a mover and seconder with a motion to that effect, please? Councillor King and Councillor Davis. That the council, the Benalla Rural City Council, appoints a deputy mayor for a 12-month period. Any discussion on the matter? If not, I will take that as moved, councillors. Any against? Thank you. Now, the position of deputy mayor. Could I call for nominations for the position of deputy mayor, please? Councillor King.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Benjamin.
Thank you, Councillor King. Do I have a seconder for the motion? Councillor Firth. Councillor Hearn, do you accept the nomination for the position of Deputy Mayor? Thank you. Any further nominations for the position? If not, that the Councillor Bernie Hearn be elected as Deputy Mayor of the Benalla Rural City Council for the 2020 council year. Congratulations. It is at this time where my official duties are over, and I'll invite the new mayor to come to the front of the table and chair the rest of the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Testoni. I'm proud and honoured to be elected as Mayor of our city. Being elected Mayor is a great privilege, and I thank my fellow councillors for placing their trust in me to lead council for 2021. I commit myself to serving Benalla with energy, pride and integrity. The Mayor is one of 7 councillors who share equally in decision making. The statements and views of the Mayor will represent the views and policies of fellow councillors. We are currently in a period of unprecedented growth. We as a council are very lucky and privileged to be given the task of steering Benalla through this important time. In the next 4 years, there will be many hard decisions to be made, decisions that will have a lasting impact on the city. And I am confident we have the team to do this and do it well. As we move through our term as councillors, we need to be mindful that not everyone is enjoying success. Through no fault of their own, there are some in our community that are sad and lonely, some that are hungry, and some that are homeless and feel that life is just too hard. Benalla Rural City have a team of caring and supportive staff that work tirelessly in this area and they need and deserve our support. I'd like to welcome the new councillors, Councillor Justin King, Councillor Panaji Gunaratne, and Councillor Gail O'Brien. And I congratulate Councillor Bernie Herr on her appointment as Deputy Mayor. Once again, I thank you for this opportunity to serve as Mayor. And in closing, I'd like to share a quote from C.S. Lewis, which I think is pertinent to us. He says, "You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." Thank you very much, and welcome to the new council. Agenda item number 6, determining the meeting cycle of council and committees for 2020 and 21. 5, sorry. Mr. Testoni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll take the report as read, and it is proposing that the schedule of meetings for the 2021 council year for the council and the delegated committees named the Finance and Operations Committee and the Planning and Development Committee be adopted. That schedule is attached to Appendix 1.
Are there any questions of Mr. Testoni? If not, the recommendation is on the bottom of page 12. The recommendation is the proposed schedule of meetings the 2020-21 council year for the council and the delegated committees named the Finance and Operations Committee and the Planning and Development Committee be adopted. Do I have a mover? Councillor Gunaratne and Councillor Hearn. Would you like to speak, Councillor Gunaratne? Councillor Hearn? Would anyone else like to speak? All those in favour? That's carried. Item number 6, appointment of council representatives to advisory committees, the peak bodies and regional community-based committees. Mr. Testoni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Obviously, it's difficult to appoint these on your very first meeting, so we are proposing to make these appointments at the meeting on the 16th of December 2020. A list of those meetings are attached to Appendix 1. There will be further details related to these committees provided before that meeting, such as the dates and times when they are traditionally held. So we will provide that additional information well before the night, so that councillors can make informed decisions of when they can commit to some of these particular committees.
Thank you. Are there any questions of Mr. Testoni? If not, the recommendation is on page 13 that reads that the appointment of council representatives for the 2020-21 council year be considered at the council meeting to be held on the 16th of December 2020. Do I have a mover? Councillor Hearn, Councillor Firth. Would you like to speak, Councillor Hearn? Councillor Firth? Anyone else like to speak? All those in favour? That's carried. Item number 7, the appointment of council's official newspaper. Mr. Testoni again.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're very fortunate to have a local newspaper, and they are present this evening. So thank you for your attendance. Just as per the recommendation on page 14, that we look to appoint the Benalla Ensign as the council's official newspaper.
Are there any questions for Mr. Testoni? If not, the recommendation is on page 14, moved by Councillor Gunaratne, seconded Councillor King. Would you like to speak, Councillor Gunaratne? Councillor King? Anyone else like to speak? All those in favour? That is carried. Item number 8, fixing of mayoral and council allowances. Mr. Testoni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Once again, I'll take the report as printed, but you will note that some of these decisions have been deferred until February 2021, in line with some consultation and submissions that will take place as part of that particular process. You may also note that I think the local government minister has come out and actually fixed councillor allowances for next year. But once again, there are some decisions that the council will look to make in a couple of months' time.
Okay, are there any questions of Mr. Testoni on that? If not, the recommendation is a 4-part recommendation on page 17. Do I have a mover for that recommendation? Councillor Hearn, Councillor O'Brien. Like to speak, Councillor Hearn? No. Councillor O'Brien? Anyone else like to speak? All those in favour? That's carried.
Item number 9, local council outdoor eating and entertainment package funding agreement. Mr. Testoni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Traditionally, we wouldn't table this particular item on a night such as tonight, but it is a funding agreement that we have been asked to execute some weeks ago. But obviously, during the caretaker period, my delegation limits didn't permit me to do that. It is a fantastic funding opportunity that the Victorian State Government has provided, not only to regional councils, but metropolitan councils as well. You will note from the report that there was actually two parts to the grants that were released. One was obviously the $250,000 available to local government across regional Victoria, $500,000 to the metropolitan councils. But there was also a second fund that was directly related to activating outdoor entertainment for traders in and amongst our communities. We have pushed that information out through our normal channels, but it is up to individual traders whether they take up that particular offer from the state government. The funding agreement, once executed, we will look to roll out some initiatives, and I have discussed these initiatives with the funding bodies. Some of those initiatives include digital screens down the main street for activation and in various locations. We're looking at doing additional lighting through the main street, back down to, I can never remember that intersection, I call it traffic lights, Arundel Street and Bridge Street, and looking at doing other initiatives as well across the municipality where and when we can. The $250,000 seems like a lot of money, but when you start talking about lighting and technology, it gets chewed up fairly quickly. Of that $250,000, there's also a portion that will be quarantined, specifically for any traders that would like fee waivers from the council. To date, we haven't had a huge uptake on that, but we will quarantine probably $20,000 or $30,000 just in case some of those requests do come in.
Are there any questions of Mr. Testoni? Councillor Firth and Councillor O'Brien.
Yeah, just with regards to the traders taking them up, you mentioned that there aren't many taken up so far. What kind of numbers are we talking about, if any?
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Firth. Just through the chair, I'm not hearing of huge numbers, to be quite honest, but interestingly, I had a discussion with a local accountant this morning, and he said that they've been quite busy with a lot of the other grant opportunities and funding that has come through. But from our initial push out of the information, it wasn't taken up that highly. It's still available, and we'll continue to push that where and when we can. And now that the council is actually executing our agreement as of tonight, we will really start to push that. It's not unusual. Some of the meetings I have sat in with our regional colleagues, many of them are experiencing the same situation where people are sort of optimistically cautious, is probably the best way to put it. But the funding is, it's very welcome. But we just have to, continue to push that message out.
And just to follow up, how long until is it available for local traders to access that?
Through the chair, I believe it's in line with our funding agreement, 30th of June 2021.
Thank you.
I haven't seen an actual funding agreement, one of theirs, but I am led to believe it is in line with what's being offered to the council.
Thank you.
Councillor O'Brien.
Thank you. I'm just curious as to know how you will be letting other people in the community know that these funds are available. Will that be online? Like we've got a big push for online, and I think sometimes just that community engagement, what the community really wants, not just council decision about what we think the community want, is just to have that noted.
Yep. Thank you, Councillor.
Are there any other questions, Mr. Testoni? If not, the recommendation is on page 19, that the report be noted and that the Chief Executive Officer be authorised to execute the local council outdoor eating and entertainment package funding agreement on behalf of the council. Do I have a mover? Councillor Davis, Councillor Firth. Would you like to speak, Councillor Davis?
I need to say to the CEO, well done. It's good to see you taking a part of it, taking this money. Hopefully it's got no strings attached, so which is really good to go get to 250,000 with no strings attached from the government. Well done, congratulations.
Thank you.
Councillor Firth, would you like to speak? Would anyone else like to speak? All those in favour? That's carried. Item number 10, the Benalla Art Gallery Community Asset Committee. Mr. Testoni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The report pretty much as printed. Just a bit of background. In the previous council, we did have 2 councillors representing on the Benalla Art Gallery Committee. That was Councillor Claridge and Alexander. Obviously, with the election, those 2 positions became vacant. And it's up to the council this evening to elect 2 councillors that will join the Art Gallery Committee. And I believe the first meeting is on the 30th of November. So there is a sense of urgency that we can hopefully appoint 2 councillors this evening.
Councillor Hearn.
I would like to nominate Councillor Claridge and Councillor Davis.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder?
I would like to second it.
Councillor Ganaratne. Would you like to speak on that, Councillor Hearn? Councillor Ganaratne. Anyone else like to speak? All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you. Is that it?
That's it.
Well, that comes to the end of our meeting. Thank you very much, everyone. So I declare the meeting closed at 6:23.
Overtime.
24?
6.
5.
5. 6.
Yes. I reckon we should do it.